What's up everybody? It's Travis here from Travis.media. Today I got a story for you. When I was 37 years old, I read a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And I can attribute where I'm at today and the success that I've had to this very book. At that time, I had taught myself to code and I was freelancing, but I wasn't making a lot of money compared to people in my industry. And this book alone gave me the framework to move from freelancing into a corporate job, making significantly more money, and growing my blog and growing my YouTube channel, and meeting financial goals, travel goals, etc. And don't worry, you can read the book later. I'll put a link below. In this video, I'm going to give you the secret. So the gist of the book is this. A person has to set priorities in life based on what's important to them. In addition, we have to look ahead to see where we want to end up. In a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, we have to look ahead at the end state. Where do we want to end up? Where do we want to be at in X numbers of years? And then from there, we have to work our way back incrementally to determine what it is we should be doing daily, weekly, and monthly to get there. It keeps us focused on that one thing, limiting distraction. And we live in a distraction-filled world. We're jumping around to so many things, we never actually get the one thing we want the most accomplished. For example, to learn to code, you just need a solid path forward, and you need to stick to that path. You need to see it through. But you can't because of all the options and all the distractions and all the people telling you to do something different. The problem is you just haven't determined that one thing and you haven't set any future goals, such that your monthly and weekly and daily goals are just as vast. So what is your one thing? Let's start there. Maybe it's learning to code and getting a job as a back-end developer. Maybe it's learning DevOps skills and transitioning into that industry. Maybe it's growing your YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers. Maybe it's making $150,000 a year. Whatever it is, determine that one thing that's most important to you in the coming years. And let me lay out a few things here to help you regroup and nail down what you need to be doing daily to reach your coding or whatever career goals successfully. So in Gary Keller's book, The One Thing, he promotes this process called goal setting to the now. And in this exercise, you start with a specific future goal and you work your way back to the present. It looks like this. So you start out with your someday goal. What is the one thing? Note that every one of these has the phrase one thing in it. What is the one thing I want to do someday? So you figure that out. Then you go to your 5-year goal. And by the way, if this doesn't make sense to you as I'm working through it, give me a second. I'll give you a practical example and make it clear as day for you. So based on my someday goal, what is the one thing I can do in the next 5 years? Then based on my 5-year goal, what is the one thing I can do in the next 1 year? Then, based on my 1-year goal, what's the one thing I can do in the next month? And then, what's the one thing I can do in the next week, the next day, and what's the one thing I can do right now? So the key here is to determine that one thing and then work your way backwards to the now, so that what you're doing now and what you're doing daily, what you're doing weekly, what you're doing monthly, it's all pressing forward to get you to that future self. Now, let me show you a practical example. So in this scenario, I'm going to do a 2-year goal. So the someday goal is kind of vague. You can make it a 1-year, 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, whatever. In this example, I'm going to do a 2-year goal as a developer. So my 2-year goal, what is the one thing I want to accomplish in 2 years? I want to be making $90,000 a year as a full-time JavaScript developer. Great. In 2 years, that's where I want to be. Based on my 2-year goal, what is the one thing I can do this year? So here's my 1-year goal. Secure a position as a junior JavaScript developer and continue to learn and gain experience. So in 1 year, I want to land that developer job, that JavaScript junior developer job. And then in the 2nd year, I want to be making $90,000. So I want to be leveling up. Next, I have my monthly goal. So based on my 1-year goal, which is to secure a position as a junior JavaScript developer, what's the one thing I can do this month? And my answer here is to finish the GitHub for Beginners and Intro to React courses. So I created a couple of blueprints. These courses are from the web developer blueprint that I created. I also have an AWS Python blueprint. And what they are, it just takes somebody from complete newbie to job ready, and it just recommends the courses they should be taking and has a week-by-week layout. So at this point, these people are at the GitHub for Beginners course and the Intro to React courses. So based on me wanting to secure a position in the next year, this month I need to be finishing these 2 courses. Now, if I keep moving down, based on my monthly goal of finishing these 2 courses, what's the one thing I can do this week? What should I be doing this week? And this is where I get more specific. So this week, I'm going to complete the first 8 lessons of the GitHub for Beginners course. That's my weekly goal. I finish this, that's going to get me closer to my monthly goal of finishing the 2 courses, which is going to get me closer to my 1-year goal, which is securing a position as a developer. Now, if I keep going down, what is my daily goal? Based on my weekly goal of completing these 8 lessons, what's the one thing I can do today? Today, I can dedicate 1 hour daily to coding from 8 to 9 p.m. So today I can code for 1 hour straight from 8 to 9 p.m. That's going to help me complete the 8 lessons. That's going to help me finish the 2 courses. Now, if I go down to what should I do right now, based on my daily goal of coding for 1 hour, what's the one thing I can do right now? I can schedule my daily coding time in my calendar and treat that seriously. So my goal today helps me get all the way to my 2-year goal. I hope all that makes sense. Let me add one thing that will kind of bring it all together. Somehow you need to revisit this list daily. Now, in this example, Jim's monthly goal is to finish the GitHub for Beginners and Intro to React courses. Next month may be to build an intermediate React application for your portfolio. The next month, it might be finish the Node.js course. The next might be build a more complex application with React and Node.js, and on and on. Each month, you need to revisit this to reach your yearly goal, and ultimately, your 2-year goal. The same goes for weekly and daily. These should be revisited accordingly and updated, always looking to that final coding career goal. Wake up in the morning, update your daily. If it's the end of the week, update your weekly, and so on. The goal is looking ahead to where you want to be and working your way backwards to the specific steps to get you there. It helps you keep on track to that end goal and not get caught up in distractions. Now, I actually used this method after reading this book at 37. I had a goal of making 6 figures by the time I was 40. So I was 37, I set a goal. When I turned 40, I need to be making 6 figures. And I met that goal. 3 years prior to reading that book, before learning to code, I was making chump change. Now I'm looking forward 8 years and planning where I want to be at 50. And I expect to be there by 50. And I have to work my way back to the now to determine that I'm doing the right things now to get there. So try it out. I have this 2-year worksheet I'm going to post in the description below. Find out where you want to be at in 2 years, fill this sheet back to the now, and update it accordingly until you get there. This sheet will change your life. So that's it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.